Imagine you have built your first application in Azure and your website connects to a database and everything works perfectly. Then one day the database restarts and Azure assigns it a new IP address and suddenly your application stops working. Today we are going to understand why this happens and how Azure solves this problem. In this video we'll see how private DNS works in a corporate. So before starting, I assume that you know all devices like virtual machine, databases, etc. have IP addresses, and because of these IP addresses, they connect to each other. Now let's get started with this one. So why do we remember this number, that is IP address? So computers or devices don't understand names. They communicate using IP address. In this case, the database have an IP address of 10.01.5 and every request goes to an IP. But there is one problem. IP addresses are not permanent. Now IP address change can be because of a restart or a stop start operation or a maintenance or a scaling operation also. And when the IP address gets changed of the database, every application that was using the IP to connect to the database would fail and application will break. And that's why using IP address directly is not a good idea because this will lead to outages. And now if we take example of our own, in our cell phone, we do not remember everyone's phone number. Instead, we remember the names like mom, dad, and then office. You save a name, and even if someone changes their number, you simply update the contact and you will still call them by the same name. Now, instead of remembering the private IP address and putting that in the configuration files to access database or other service, we would use a name, and it's more easier if application uses names because names never changes and only the IP address behind it changes. And just to give you a simple example, if 10 application in different virtual machines access the database using the IP address, and suppose the IP address of the database changes, we would have to update the IP address in all the 10 servers so that it can access the database. But instead, if we use names like my database in each of the 10 servers, even if the IP address changes of the database, it will still connect because we are not just using the IP address, we will use name that will automatically resolve to the private IP address of the database. And if you have watched the video, you would know that the DNS is responsible for mapping the names of your devices or websites to the IP address, and the names are used to connect. Similar like when we do google.com, we'll get a website, and each website has the IP address. If I show you quickly, when we do the NS lookup, google.com, that is mapped to IP address. So all these IP address, if you use it and paste it in the browser, your google.com will load up. And these are all public IP addresses. That means you can reach to this website publicly. And now if we come back and think why don't we use the Google DNS, resolve it publicly for our databases or internal services. So when we do the NS lookup to google.com, which we just saw, we get the public IP address, and it happens because the public DNS is responsible where all the information is stored. That is google.com mapped to the IP address, right, where the server actually are. So why don't we simply use the Google DNS? And this is because Google DNS is built for public websites. Anyone should be able to find Google and search. Similarly for YouTube. But should everyone on the internet know about your company's database server? Obviously not. We would want our internal resources to be accessible over our own internal network and not across the internet, because if your database is open to the public, hackers will try to steal your company's data, confidential information, and that is what we don't want. So we want our resources to be private and accessible only our corporate network. So in the internet, we have google.com, YouTube, Amazon, right, which we want to be accessible over the internet. But for private network, if I take an example of our own corporate network, we would have web application, web servers, databases, Redis, APIs that we do not want to be accessible over the internet. And for private network, public internet access is blocked. And now for this requirement, as we can't use the Google DNS servers that is accessible publicly, so we would need another solution, another phone book like our contact that is built for your own company, and only your own application should be able to use it. And this phone book should never be visible on the internet. Now the question is, who will keep the private phone book? And for many companies, they often have their own custom DNS server, meaning they would have their own server where they will have entries for all their virtual machine, databases, basically their resources, and is managed by the company itself. And in this phone book, what we have is basically a name and that will resolve to a IP address. And this IP address can belong to your database, your web servers. So anytime when a server in a corporate network search for database, the name will then get resolved to the private IP address. And if you go to next, similar for API, then red is all your internal resources entries are made in this phone book. And this private phone book is called Azure Private DNS Zone. Think of it as your company's private phone book. Applications ask for databases, and Azure Private DNS will then give the IP addresses to your applications. And Azure Private DNS Zone is responsible for resolving the name to the IP addresses in your own internal network. Similarly, many companies, along with Private DNS Zone, uses their own custom DNS server, and this server is managed by the company itself, where all the entries with the names and the records are maintained, unlike Azure Private DNS Zone, which is managed by Azure itself. Now if you go to next, now how does a name reach to a database? So if you have made an entry in our Azure Private DNS Zone, whenever a database request is coming out from the application, it should resolve to the particular IP address, and that particular IP address will be of the database. So the flow will be the application asks for a name to the private DNS zone, and the name it is using the database, and the private DNS zone it will check in its records if any entries is made for a database name. If yes, then it will find the IP address and then give to the application to communicate to the database. And this is how, instead of using the IP addresses, we would use the name to connect to other devices. And keep in mind that even with the names, the communication between two devices is happening only because of the IP addresses. Name is just a medium instead of remembering the IP addresses. And even if the IP addresses changes behind the scenes of a database, application will always get the latest entry because the private DNS zone will automatically update the new IP address when the server restarts or a maintenance or a scaling operation. Now, once you understand this idea, you'll notice Azure uses it everywhere. Private endpoints, your storage accounts, your Azure SQL, your Key Vault, your virtual machines, all of them rely on the private name resolution. So with the VM inside your network, to access the SQL, it will check the DNS zone and then resolve it to the SQL. Similarly, it will use for private endpoint and then the Key Vault and many other Azure services. Now, without the phone book, Azure Private DNS Zone or your custom DNS server, you would have to remember IPs, and IP get changed and application fails, the connectivity would break. So with the phone book, we just have to remember names, and even if the IP gets changed, the application continue to work properly because DNS zones which can automatically update the new entries for the new IP addresses. And that's the only difference you need to remember. Public DNS helps everyone on the internet find public services. Azure Private DNS helps Azure resources find each other inside a private network. And this was how DNS helps you to connect to resources without remembering their IP addresses and worrying about the IP address change. Now in the next video, we'll see everything in action, how private DNS zone gets created and how the records, that is name mapped to the IP address, is maintained. And we'll see how connectivity works. For the demo, I'll see you in the next one.